Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Helps out a lot, and I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscriptions. Every subscription helps out with that goal. Now let's talk about a film that is releasing this weekend, How to Train Your Dragon. Yes, the live adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon. I fully expect this film to make a lot of money, kind of like the Lilo and Stitch situation, where some people don't seem to understand that it's not about necessarily with these films the quality and how accurate they keep it with the original or animated adaptation of the project. People just want to see these live adaptations because some of it's a nostalgia thing for them. Also, it's just a different way to look at the story. It makes it almost more real for them if there's humans involved. So let's read into what people are saying about this film that is releasing this weekend. How to Train Your Dragon reviews point to another unnecessary live action remake that occasionally soars. Disney has struggled to crack the code of successfully adapting animated classics to live action. And once again, to the writer of the article, what is their definition of successfully adapting animated classics to live action? Lilo and Stitch just crossed the $700 million mark, and it's on its way to $800 million this week. By the end of the weekend, it'll probably be at $900 million and stomping closer to that billion that we thought that it would hit. So when they say successful, do they mean successful from a box office standpoint? Do they mean successful from a reception standpoint? There have been plenty of box office hits, while some like Maleficent have successfully expanded those words. Others are either shot-for-shot remakes or upset fans by making too many changes. It feels like the House of Mouse can't win, but there's money to be made, and Dreamworks is now looking to get in on the action with the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. The trailers have pointed to it being more The Lion King than Snow White in terms of faithfully recreating its animated predecessor. However, the first wave of reviews indicates that much of the magic has been lost along the way. The publication Variety had positive things to say about the film, but the Telegraph felt otherwise, calling How to Train a Dragon a real dud that drags on. The Independent adds to that by describing the movie as pointless, depressing copy and paste remake, which simply replicates the sounds and images of the 2010 original, only making them blander and more gray in the process. Empire notes it's clearly made with real love and care, but shows far too much deference to its progenitor. Even in a remake, we need more originality and less playing the hits, which basically this means to me in code that it's a fan service film, which is not a bad thing to me. What is a fan service film? We cannot have it both ways. We've had this talk before about people that complain about fan service films. On one end, if they don't do what the fans want, they complain about it. If they do too much of what the fans want, they complain about it. So people are going to have to figure that one out on their own. As for IGN, the site concludes the live action How to Train Your Dragon can feel hemmed in by its faithfulness to the animated original, but it's recreating that film's sense of heart and soul, as well as its entire plot and most enduring images. While Next Best Picture feels the movie is an unnecessary addition to the animated film, the site promises with some heartbreaking visuals, lovable dragons, and a perfectly cast Mason Thumbs, this is the rare live-action remake that captures the heart and soul of the original, so kind of like a backhanded compliment there. AV Club states the remake trades animated magic for money-hungry mediocrity, but IndieWire muses, no one needs a live-action remake, but one this faithful and sweet are not the problem. We wrap things up with the Hollywood Reporter's review stating that it retains its charm, but it does play it safe. And so that pretty much concludes the ratings and reviews from the trades there. As I said, this film more than likely is going to make a ton of money. It's going to be the same thing as Lilo and Stitch. Just because they deviated a bit from that animated version doesn't mean that the film will not be successful and that it won't make money. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And I feel like for How to Train Your Dragon, the fact that they are keeping it very original and maybe even shooting it shot for shot, but live action, is actually going to help this film, to be honest. Not a lot for people to complain about. You can complain that maybe it's not necessary, but you can't complain that they changed the story much. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see what this film does overall. Ladies and gents, let me know what you think about this news here. Are you going to be watching How to Train Your Dragon? Also, let me know if you're excited for this. I think this film's going to make a lot of money. Disney's once again going to win with this live action adaptation here, and it's going to be interesting to see where it tops out at. Does it make 500 million, 600 million? Does it make more money than Lilo and Stitch can potentially? I think Lilo and Stitch has the edge here, but we will just have to see, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Comment down below what you thought about this news. Like this video and ring the bell for notifications for more updates. Be safe. It's Neff signing off.